Way to go, Jordan! Good job, guys!
Nightmare for tents because now packing them up, we'll have to find a way to get them dry.
Yep. All right, I see somebody. For future watchers of this video, we are in the last 30 minutes. Pat Hassler is 7 laps from tying Chris Roberts in 6th on the national team list. That's 149.6. He could probably end up in 151 low. Jordan is running strong. He might get 144-ish, and 2 or 3 women have hit the qualifying standard of 130 miles, I believe. Unfortunately, we now have pouring rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds. Six laps to tie Chris Roberts. 6 laps. We go, Pat.
Get over here for a bit. Great to see you, Kirby. Thank you, as always.
Pat has 6 laps to tie Chris Roberts as the number 6 qualifier in the team. He'll get there, or should get there, with about 15 minutes left. So I think Chris is 149.6. and Pat is trending towards 151 low. Here comes Colleen. She's one of 3 or 4 women who have hit the 130-mile qualifying standard. I think she's the second woman. No. I think she's, well, maybe third. Sorry. Megan, who's walking right now, has hit the standard. Those two, I believe, are second and third woman. And then Victoria Brown, Hungarian out of Canada, I believe is still lead woman, and she's mid 130s mileage, I think. Over on the back, you can see Pat's running somewhere around, I think, high 8s now. And I've seen Jordan and him team up a few times. Jordan's trying to push, I believe, 143, 144. When Pat comes around this time, let me check my math real quick. So that's 1.25 miles. It's 10 minutes. So he'll have about 15 minutes to tack on more mileage above and beyond. I'm going from memory, but I think beyond Chris, the number 5 runner, 149.6 to I think 152. Don't think he can get there. And if you're just joining, we've had pretty darn good weather the whole time, but it's pouring rain now. I don't know if you can see that. It's pouring rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's absolutely horrible. Like exact worst weather you could get with 30 minutes left to go in a 24-hour race. All right, let me flip over. I'm not sure if this Chris Roberts, 149.6, the number 6 standard on the team. Let me see if I can capture his. It doesn't show me last loop on my phone easily. But I'd say that's high. That might be low, 8-minute pace. 1 mile to Chris. 1 mile to Chris. Way to go, Pat. Hey, Dan, where is Jordan at right now? Gotcha. Thank you. So Jordan is at 142.6. 25 minutes. Call it 3 miles. So yeah, so he can break 145, which is an amazing accomplishment. Here comes Colleen. She's battled through a lot of ups and downs, and she's just killing it right now. Pouring rain, sideways wind, sideways rain. Way to run, way to run.
Thank you.
Yep, clock just blew over. They had to take down like almost all of their equipment from the wind. Bob Hearn is still out. This is a training run. His goal was to be there at the end. The gods have tried to screw with Bob and pour rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds on him at the very end, and he's not giving in. All right, here comes Pat. That looks like sub 8 pace now for Pat. I don't know if you guys are picking up that wind. This is nuts. Pat is now 3 laps from Chris, number 6 spot. And he knows it. 3 laps. 3. Looks really good. I think he'll finish 151 low. Jordan's running well. I think he can get to 145. Apologize for the shaky camera. The tripod fell over and everything, so I have to hold it now. Yeah, okay, I can see the chat now. Yeah, Colleen is moving really well. And she was suffering hard. I mean, she was still moving an hour ago too, but she was suffering hard an hour ago. All right, let me get my mileage ready. So Patrick, I see you on there. You'll notice, I mean, like almost everybody that got to 100 kept going. Here comes Nikki, laughing through it all. The absurdity of pouring rain and 30-mile-an-hour winds in the last 30 minutes of a 24-hour race. Here comes Pat. This will mark 2 laps until he ties Chris Roberts on number 6 on the list for Team USA. Sorry for the camera, the tripod blew over, so I have to hold it. 2 laps, 2. Till he ties Chris for number 6.
Is that Chris Roberts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. Golly, now I mean it's raining even harder now. I don't know if you can see that. This is nuts. I wouldn't even call it a positive thing, but one positive thing was we knew it was coming, so we told them it was going to pour rain on them for like 15 minutes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is so absurd at the very end of a 24-hour run. I don't know if you can see that, how hard it's pouring. Maybe that'll help you see it in front of the trees. It's an absolute downpour. Comes Bob. Colleen is run strong. I cannot remember. She and Megan are 2 and 3, but that's Victoria Brown, Hungarian out of Canada. I believe is still the women's leader. Apologize if I'm wrong. All right, I believe this is going to be 1 lap on Pat. Sorry, I have.
Way to go, Pat!
My web page is spinning. Okay. So this will be tying. So this will be tying Chris. 149.6. And he's got 17 minutes to add on to it. Way to run, Pat. That's it. Way to run, Pat. That's it.
Way to go, Pat!
Great job, man.
Way to go!
I don't know if you could see that. I'm pretty sure that I saw some emotion in his face right there. Let's see if I can zoom in on that rain again. I think it's backed off just a little bit now. We were thinking it might be 15 or 20 minutes for a line to come through, so maybe we'll luck out and it's on the downside. Here comes Victoria. She's running well.
15 more minutes, you two.
Yes, Patrick, that was, I'm having to go by memory now. Chris Roberts is 149.6 and out to the 3rd decimal. And I believe that was 149.6 and some decimals. So I believe that was the split right there that tied Pat with Chris. So he's in the bonus. And I believe number 5 is 152 or 153. And there's not enough time for that. So he's just trying to stack on as many more blocks on top of that as he can. 149. Yeah, so that's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. Patrick, so that's not updating. So Dan, Patrick should be showing 149.6 or something. Okay, that's perfect. Yep, so it's working. Good. Yeah, for some reason the web page is not loading. So that's Dan Hernandez running the timing. There goes Colleen. She's been just absolutely killing it. I believe her PR was 130. She's stacking on quite a few miles on top of that. Comes Pat, so he's one lap to the good now on Scott.
Yeah.
Way to go, Pat. Way to go.
Told Chris you could.
Yes, yes. That was him asking if he had one more to 150. So 149.6 plus a quarter mile is 8 something. Yeah, so it'll be 2 lap. Wait, Ultra Brain. 685. Yeah, so this will be 150.1 when he comes by. Jordan's still running well. Last I saw, he had a chance of 145. Way to run, way to run. Way to run, Bob. Tony Bruno made a run at Bob's 100-mile age group American record today and came up just short. Yes, ma'am. 13 minutes left, roughly. We got people holding down the, that's fallen over so many times, I can't believe it hasn't broken. They had to take down all of the running chute paraphernalia stuff, that blew over. A lot of the tents are down. Okay, the rain has stopped. I don't know if you can catch this. It's still 30-mile-an-hour winds. It probably doesn't show up very well. Way to run. Way to run. Jack, he soldiered. He led a lot of the first 50 miles. Battled through some hard spots. I can't remember his mileage, but I believe he's going to pass 130. All right, so this is 150.1. 150, 150, 150. 12 minutes-ish. Who's counting? Damn, the rain is back again. So looks like more people have joined. So we had such good weather. It was in the 60s, cloudy all day. We've had the wind picked up in the middle of the night, 30-mile-an-hour sustained winds. My phone was saying 45-mile-an-hour gusts. So we had to take down all of the start-finish stuff. All the equipment, the TVs and the timing readout has been falling over. We've had to take down a lot of the tents. It's been pouring rain for the last, call it good 20 minutes. And if I zoom in on the trees, you might be able to see. It's absolutely unfair, the last 45 minutes of a 24-hour race, to get this kind of weather. So we've had numerous women reach the 130-mile-an-hour standard. For some reason, the web page isn't working for the results the last I checked, but I believe we might have 4 women that are hitting that. Victoria's coming through now. Victoria, last I looked, was leading, and I think Colleen might be second, or it's Megan, but they might be mid 130s by now. There's Megan still out there. Here comes Pat. So Pat is at, this will be 150.3, and I'm rounding with 24-hour Ultra Brain math. So Pat has taken over the number 6 spot on the U.S. team. And if the web page ever works again and you look up his splits, it is just nutty how well he's run. And finishing in the pouring rain now. This will be 150.3-ish. 150.3. Way to run, way to run. Last I saw, Jordan was closing in on 144, 145. It was what he was on track for. I believe his PR is 140. Don't quote me on that and change. Pat's PR was 146, so he's got that. Jack's running strong. Comes Bob Hearn. Way to run, Bob.
Yeah. So she's
I'm actually under an overhang and I'm still getting wet. It's so windy. Thank you, Patrick. Or Pat. Or, sorry. Now I see what you mean. Like what? All right, so that's helpful. So he's at 0.6 next time around. Thank you for that. So he could get, yeah, so 151 low. He's still looking like that could be where he finishes.
yeah. So
Thank you. If you wouldn't mind, it's hard for me to flip back and forth and find people. If you could tell me and post Colleen's mileage. I think she's got to be closing in on 130 high, like high 130s.
let me.
Yeah, if there is one more lap, right? Like to disqualify.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So, yeah, she knows. Vicky has to drop it.
Comes Pat. Two and a half laps to 151. 2.5 laps to 151. Last I looked at him, he was running, still running happy. I don't know how. 144, 145 was where he was trending.
Way to go, Bob!
Bob Hearn still at it, pushing.
All right, Jack.
All right, rain has let up just a little bit. So if you're just joining, Pat is 2.5 laps from, Pat Hasley is 2.5 laps from 151. He is now number 6 on the U.S. qualifying list. We didn't have anybody else that made it. Jordan is going to finish 144, 145 maybe. And we've got 4-ish women. I think I haven't looked in a while that are, they're not going to displace anybody but hit the women's 100, they're finishing the 130 mile, upper 130s. Comes Colleen again. So I haven't been paying attention, but at some point these guys start handing out little bean bags with the race numbers on it. And then they'll give the runners a warning and a countdown.
5 minutes remaining. At the sound of the siren, you will drop the beanbag. 5 minutes at the sound of the siren. Please drop it straight down.
Yep, So they're very particular about a lot of things. That's why you have rules and why records count. You drop the bag from your side directly beside you at the buzzer, and then they wheel the track and measure everybody. So this is Pat, a lap and a half from 151. 1.5 laps to 151. 1.5 laps to 151. Jordan's closing in on 144 or 145, I think. If anybody has the results, it's hard for me to flip back and forth. Bob's still in it. He's doing well. Megan hit the qualifying. None of the women are going to be displaced off the team, but a lot of women are hitting the qualifying standard. Megan's one of them. Victoria's there. She's running happy. Colleen hit it. I think Nikki hit it. Nikki Harvey. Colleen is really running strong this last hour. Thank you, Pat. 144.9. Yeah, so he'll be in the 145.5. So for any of you guys that just joined, I apologize for the shaky camera. We had 30-mile-an-hour winds that have picked up, sustained since middle of the night. And so we've had to take down all the start-finish stuff. We have to hold the timing sign, the TVs. We've had to take down half the tents. Everything's been blowing. We've had sideways rain for the last half hour. There's Nikki Harvey. So this next time, yeah, this will be half a lap from 151, I think. Yeah, so this will be half a lap to 151 for Pat right here. Half a lap to 151. So that's probably 7:30 pace now. Bob's pushing hard. Bob's been pressing hard a long time, all night. 145, 145. Jack's killing it now. Apologize to you guys that can see the results and see that I'm wrong, but I want to say 10, 12 runners. That might be too aggressive. Over 120 miles. The rain has picked up again. See if you can see it against the trees. Just pouring rain. You don't love to see it. Colleen is killing it. If anybody could, 9 runners over 120, thanks. If you know her mileage, if you could post it on here. Way to run, way to run! She's way past a PR. Here comes Pat. Pat is absolutely motoring. So this will be 151.1 at the start finish. If my math is right. Way to run! Jack's killing it now. All you guys that do this stuff for a living, you know how ridiculous it is to run that pace at this point. God, it's just pouring again. Thanks, 133.7. Yeah, her PR was 130, I believe. Way to run, Bob. Way to run, Bob. He's suffering. Here comes Jordan. Way to run, way to run. There we go. So that's his beanbag. Jack's collapsed over there. Pat's collapsed on the back. Sorry for the shakiness, I gotta hold it. Let me see if I can balance on the fence back here. Yeah, I'm zoomed in so much, I don't think I'm gonna get a steady camera. That's Pat right there. Had the USATF person right there, so they got the drop right. That's his crew, covering him up with a towel. That's Jordan, collapsed on the track. He's fine, he's happy, he's just out. Yeah. That's the USATF guy. Once the bodies are moved out of the way, he can finish wheeling off the mark. Is that too soon for a joke like that? He's fine, he's just absolutely spent. Let me switch over here. Colleen's leaned against the fence. She's spent. Still frickin' raining. Cats and dogs. So that's, I believe that's, oh, that might be Mandy. I was thinking that might be Megan in the space blanket. That's Nikki behind her. That's Colleen walking with her crew. Victoria with the white visor. Jack on the backside. I think Pat must have already cleared the track. Jordan's good. Relatively speaking. All right, y'all, so we have a line of storms. This was green on the map. We got a line of storms coming that are red. So everybody's hustling to clean everything up now and try to clear before that's hit. So I'm gonna cut the camera. Congratulations, everyone. Several women hit the qualifying standard in the 130s. We had Jordan, a bunch of PRs. Jordan finished a little over 145, I believe. And Pat Hasley is now number 6 on the US team at 151 low. And that'll be a wrap.